Coronation Street star Farrell Hegarty has addressed the fan backlash about her character, Lou Michaelis, and how her on-screen husband played by Joe Layton warned her against reading online comments about them. Hegarty and Layton joined Corey in early 2025 as trouble couple Lou and Mick, wreaking havoc on the cobbles and being involved in various crimes, including his murder of Craig Tinker and her attack on Gary Windass. It wasn't long before both characters landed behind bars for their actions, with their 3 children being entrusted to the care of Sally and Tim Metcalf. Reflecting on her Corey debut in a regular role, Hegarty shared that she initially steered clear of reading viewers' comments on the internet but that a hint from her co-star Layton prompted her to give in to curiosity. "When it started, you get warned. Like, look, you're coming in as a bad character, don't expect people to like you," she said on the It Started With a Kiss podcast. Hegarty recalled having a conversation with Layton over coffee, with him casually mentioning fan reactions. He said, "Have you read any of the comments yet?" And I was like, "No, I was told not to," she said. "I remember he was sipping a coffee and he went, 'Don't,'" she continued as she mimicked taking a sip from a mug with a well-placed side eye. "Obviously when someone says, 'Don't push the button,' you're like," Hegarty said as she pushed an imaginary button, admitting having gone down a rabbit hole. The actor then said that one person in her family was particularly upset over the comments as a big soap fan. "My grandma is a huge Corey fan," she explained. "I was like, 'Have you read the comments?' and my grandma went like, in a resigned tone, 'Yes.' She then joked, and I'm like, 'You've upset grandma now. Upsetting me is one thing, but don't upset Granny.'" Hegarty, whose final scenes as Lou aired in July last year, explained that fans started warming up to her as she was revealed to be more complex than a straight-up villain. She said, "There was a domestic abuse storyline, involving Lou, so you saw a softer side to her and people were like, 'Oh, she's not that bad.'" Coronation Street has once again found itself at the center of a heated fan reaction, with one of the soap's villainous characters facing a growing wave of criticism. The storyline has clearly struck a nerve with viewers, and the intense response has even prompted a co-star to issue a warning about just how strongly fans have reacted. Soap villains are nothing new on the cobbles. Over the years, Coronation Street has created some unforgettable characters who have frustrated, shocked, and even terrified viewers. But when a character becomes so convincing that audiences begin reacting emotionally to the actor behind the role, things can become more complicated. That appears to be the situation surrounding the latest villain storyline. Fans have been expressing their anger online after a series of dramatic scenes left them furious about the character's actions. While many viewers understand that the villain is simply doing their job within the story, the strength of the backlash has demonstrated just how effective the performance has been. The latest developments have seen the villain pushed further into dangerous territory. Decisions that might once have seemed questionable have now turned into actions that viewers simply cannot forgive. As tensions continue to rise, fans are desperate to discover whether the character will finally get what is coming to them. However, one co-star has reportedly recognized the intensity of the reaction and offered a warning about the consequences of becoming one of the soap's most hated figures. The warning is particularly interesting because it highlights the strange relationship between soap actors and their audiences. On screen, performers can spend months playing characters that viewers love to hate. Off-screen, however, they remain ordinary people simply doing their jobs. For some actors, being recognized for a villainous role can be a huge compliment. It means they have successfully convinced viewers that their character is genuinely unpleasant. Yet there can also be a downside when angry fans struggle to separate fiction from reality. The recent backlash has therefore sparked a familiar conversation among soap fans: where should the line be drawn? Viewers are absolutely entitled to dislike a character. They can criticize storylines, complain about decisions and debate whether a particular plot is believable. But the actor playing the role should not become the target of personal abuse simply because their character has behaved badly. That distinction is especially important with Coronation Street, where actors can become closely associated with their characters. The current villain has clearly succeeded in creating a strong reaction. Social media discussions have been filled with angry comments, predictions, and demands for the character to be stopped. Some fans have even suggested that they cannot watch certain scenes without becoming frustrated. From a storytelling perspective, that reaction is exactly what producers want. A soap needs characters capable of creating conflict. Without villains, betrayals, and complicated relationships, there would be little reason for viewers to return each night. The most memorable storylines often involve characters making terrible decisions and forcing everyone around them to deal with the consequences. The latest storyline appears to be following that tradition. As the pressure increases, the villain could soon find themselves facing an even bigger challenge. Their actions have created enemies, damaged relationships, and potentially exposed secrets that could eventually come back to haunt them. That is where the co-star's warning becomes particularly significant. If the backlash continues to grow, the actor may need to deal with even greater attention as the storyline reaches its climax. At the same time, viewers can expect the character to remain at the center of the drama. There is also the possibility that the intense fan reaction could be used to build anticipation for a major showdown. Soap storylines often reach a point where the villain believes they have won, only for the truth to begin catching up with them. Friends turn against them, secrets are uncovered, and victims finally find the courage to fight back. For Coronation Street fans, that possibility is likely to make the upcoming episodes even more compelling. The big question is whether the villain will eventually face justice or somehow manage to escape the consequences once again. Whatever happens, the reaction from viewers proves that the character has made a significant impact. Being hated is not necessarily a failure for a soap villain. In many cases, it is evidence that the actor has delivered a powerful performance. The challenge is ensuring that the audience's anger remains focused on the fictional character rather than the person portraying them. That is why the co-star's warning carries such importance. Behind every dramatic scene is an actor who has spent years perfecting their craft. They may be playing someone cruel, manipulative, or dangerous, but the person themselves is simply bringing a scripted character to life. As the storyline continues, fans will undoubtedly keep debating every twist and turn. Will the villain finally be exposed? Will their enemies unite against them? Could one unexpected character hold the key to bringing everything crashing down? And perhaps most importantly, will the character realize that their actions have pushed the people around them too far? With emotions running high and viewers demanding answers, Coronation Street looks set to deliver even more drama before this storyline reaches its conclusion. For now, the villain remains one of the most talked about figures on the cobbles. The furious fan reaction may be uncomfortable at times, but it has also demonstrated the power of a compelling soap storyline. And if the co-star's warning is anything to go by, the drama may only be getting started. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Crown ST.